What's up? It's your girl Lightning, and it is Thursday, so you already know what time it is. It is time for Live with Lightning. Woo! So yeah, tonight and today is the third Thursday of the month. So we got the panel. So you already know it's getting ready to be dynamic. We got Elise with a message. Give it up for Elise with a message. Woo! We got JB Rhythm on the line, always providing the male perspective and the grown and mature, sexy male perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
and we got King that is a part of the panel too, so he may be chiming in, but he's been on the move here lately, so understand that. So again, if you're just tuning in, you are Live with Lightning. It goes down every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. But tonight, we got a hot topic. I think it's going to be a wonderful discussion because we are talking about what men want versus what women want in relationships. Okay. That's what we're talking about tonight. So I don't know if of course you've been following me, so you already know what's going on, but I shared a couple of videos. And the first perspective I want to talk about was the last video that I shared today with the sister that she's doing the online dating. And she says in her profile that she literally has it posted, "I'm only looking for dick and dinner." Like, that's...
Yeah.
I mean,
I was at a business meeting. I must have missed that one. You posted that?
I did. I shared the video today on both pages, on Poor Lightning and Christy Cotton, my other personal Facebook page. I shared the video on both, and I'm just like, she's like, I got money, I work, but I want the dick and I want the dinner. Like, that's it.
In that order?
In that order. She said, I want dick and dinner.
I just believe there's nothing wrong with people getting what they want or doing what they want to do, as long as they're not hurting anybody. Like, if that's what she wants and that's her preference, then kudos to her. She knows what she wants.
And you know me, so I think like that, if that's all that you're interested in and just being that blunt with it, I think that's the dopest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? That you're not sugarcoating it. I'm not looking, you don't come at me trying to be in a relationship. I want you to take me to dinner and give me some dick. Like,
so what's the male perspective on that, JD?
I want to know what she is willing to offer in exchange for the double D.
You don't
pussy and availability. That's it. That's all she got. Pussy and availability.
Right. So that'll work for a man that's on the same time that she's on. That'll work perfect.
So do you think that wouldn't work for the male perspective if you want more than just to be giving her the ticket to Pound Town?
I am absolutely certain that there are many people that have already responded to her, dropped in her DM, recognized her, looked her up in the alumni yearbook, and called her cousin, them, have found a way to contact her and make their way available. That is one thing. Those are two things. Well, any male with money will offer you dinner for sure. Now, is it a Happy Meal or is it something a little more upscale? But getting the D is just like, that's like breathing. Getting the man to be complicit with the D, getting some man. There's some are going to say, no, that's not the kind of relationship I don't want to be in. That I don't want to offer my energy. I don't want to offer myself to somebody, and that's all that the relationship is going to be. But there are, for every one that's going to say no, there are probably 3 to 5 that are going to say yes, yes, yes.
That they're down with that. I think in today's era, you got one group of men that are truly looking for committed, faithful relationships, long-term, and then you got another group that they don't believe that the woman is really on that, so they don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a woman, I know firsthand people that have presented to their mates, like, okay, I think you seeing other people, so let's just have an open relationship, you know, where they're conveying we it's cool, like we can do this, like we can have an open relationship. Let's just keep it real and be honest about it. You know what I mean? Like, and then the dude's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to, but he like, I can't trust her. You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna be like, you know. And but you got some women that are solid like that. You know, that'll be like, that's what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah,
I think the one problem. Go ahead, JB.
No, go ahead.
I think the one problem she's gonna run into with that though is because, like, when you start, you can say, "Oh, okay, that's all we're gonna do. It's gonna be all good. Like, we're not gonna do anything else." But somebody, maybe not her, but the male may end up catching feelings depending on who she's with, and it's gonna become a problem. So if it's something like that, you have to make sure that you're on the exact same page. And even if you do make sure you're on the exact same page, there's no telling if somebody's gonna get feelings in it.
I know.
And for me, it's not just the propensity that the male will catch feelings. She has the propensity to eventually want more than that too.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know it yet. Like many of us, we don't know exactly how we're going to respond once we are presented with the situation.
Right.
There are some people that proclaim to be too tough, tougher than leather, and they break down with the quickness when presented with the right situation or that situation. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I hear you, Lightning. You know, more power to her, getting in her thing, being honest, and you know, we all always have saying so. Yeah, just be honest about it. She gonna get what she want. The question will be, I question how long that's gonna be sustained. That just getting dick and dinner.
So did she say, I don't know, I didn't see the post yet. So did she say that's what she wants for now? Is she too busy now? Or
no, the video, so she's got an online profile. She's dating online. Okay. So you know how you have in your profile, like what you're looking for, in search of, and she just flat out said, my profile says ISO, which is in search of dick and dinner.
Okay.
And then she went on and she expounded and said, I'm well off. I got a great job. I have money, but I still want dick and dinner. That's all I want.
So my problem with that right there is she gonna get the, I don't want to use the derogatory name, so I'm not, but she gonna get the guys looking for a woman with money to use her. She gonna get the guy that got the good sex game, that likes women to take care of him. That's gonna be what she's gonna attract with saying that on their dating site. But if that's what she wants to do and she makes it clear that she doesn't want anything else, I mean, she's not going to have a problem. Like JB said, she's not going to have a problem getting it. It's just what's going to happen afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another one of the videos that I shared was, you know, speaking on, I guess, you know, the more of the reality of the thing. It seems like the consensus that men, are looking for what they want is more stability, you know, faithfulness, commitment, things like that, you know. And on the other wave, the woman is more into, you know, the security, the trust, the faithfulness, and having him be vulnerable.
So, you know, I'm doing the matchmaking thing. A lot of my men, because I got a lot of people lined up, I'm just trying to take it week by week, but a lot of my men, they want the relationships. They want to settle down. Like, I'm not doing like, if you just want a relationship or you just, whatever you're looking for, I'm trying to find you what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of men that are in my inbox are definitely looking for a stable relationship and to settle down. Some of the women, they looking for a good time. And fun and all that. Like, I think we get to a point where we get to a certain age where we're tired of going through certain things, and we start expecting, you know, that things are not going to happen that way. So lowering our expectations, we start saying we just want to have fun. That way we're not setting ourselves up to get hurt, but they could want more than that.
And that's interesting that at the same time that there's this influx of encouraging men to be more emotionally intelligent and to meet, more in touch with their feelings and to be more vulnerable to women, that on the flip side, they are hardening their heart and not as willing to be open and available and work on getting past their traumas and being emotionally intelligent. And you can't just, and to me, you can't just settle and say, well, opposites attract. Well, that's a distortion really in the collective, that opposites attract. You can't ask me to be on 10 and you just be on 2. That's not fair. And it's really a recipe for disaster when you talk about trying to satisfy the requirements for being in a long-term relationship. They both have to be, to me, it's going to be a healthier relationship if both parties are, if you're working through some stuff, you're working through some stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
If I can help and help you work through some stuff, okay. If you can help me work through some stuff, okay. I still subscribe to, it's not good that man should be alone. And likewise, it's not really great that women should be alone. And, particularly we're talking about, those in childbearing years and who have children. There's a whole lot of things that can go wrong just by not having a partner, but even worse, if you don't have the right partner.
Yeah.
So you and your give me all the good times and fun and take me out and buy me Gucci bags and all that kind of stuff. But you want me to be vulnerable and open you want me to be open while my wallet is open, but you're not offering me the same thing. That's crazy to me.
Deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep. But that goes to mindset too, because you are in the mindset of wanting that longevity. You're wanting to spend the rest of your existence, the rest of your days with who you find. And I'm sure Elise with the message is gone. I saw your profile. I shared it. You know what I'm saying? So I know you are a eligible candidate, so.
Well, okay, so myself, right? I'm single, but I'm not putting myself out there yet. And the reason why is because I feel like I kind of started to feel like, nah, I don't want to date right now because I can't take anybody seriously. I can't, I'm just have fun and this and that. So it's some things that I need to heal within myself or whatever, that to get the relationship that I want and to be okay in that relationship. So I'm okay with that. Like, I love love. I love seeing people happy. So I don't have a problem with matching people up or whatever. But me, myself, right now, I don't want to get into anything where I can't give it my 100%. And right now, I'm just not ready. Like, I was in a relationship for about 6 years off and on. So I'm still just working on myself to get past some things so I don't go into another relationship with baggage.
That is so important. That is a key factor with getting self together. And I think that's why, like, one of the quotes, I know it's Bob Marley, that says it's a coward that, I forget the exact quote, but a man that opens up a woman to love and is not really ready for that, that he's a coward, so that is very frustrating, because before me getting married the second time, I had been single for a long, long time, and I was like cool in my space. And I was one of those that was very open and honest and transparent about my singleness. I was dating multiple people. I would be upfront and honest. The guys that I was dating, they were like, you are different. I love that about you. Like you're being very honest. There's no question. Like, I asked you, you gave me an answer, so I was good in my single space. And when the dude came, with the, hey, how about let's give us a relationship? I was like, wow. And I had just literally said I was ready and open for a relationship, but I went through that whole healing process where I was good with me, like I was fully okay and prepared and ready to love another person. You know what I'm saying? That I had all my shit, my house was in order. So I was ready to open up for love, you know? So,
yeah.
and you get that and then it don't be legit and you like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, honestly, when we speak on what men want, and it's amazing to me how in today's age the times have changed, because you used to have more women that were all for the want to be married, want the commitment, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And like you're stating, with the input that you're getting for your candidates for the dating uh show that you're putting together, the dating, you know, whatever you're putting together for the dating group, it's more the men that are like, I'm ready for this, and this. Like, I want this type of woman. I want, you know, her to be ready for a commitment. And you got most of the women that's like, yeah, nah, I just want to dick and dinner.
Right.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I think that comes, that's that distortion I'm talking about, where we've convinced a large amount of our female population that they're going to be okay from now until the day that they die without ever being committed to a man. And if okay is good enough for you, then okay.
Yeah.
But if actual elevation and truly living the way that, again, my opinion, the way that I believe that men and women are supposed to live and help build and walk in their purpose and do something to leave a legacy, a fruitful legacy behind, and have a seed that they can be proud of and it's proud of them. I know that's not necessarily a very popular mindset these days, but you cannot change, to me, you cannot change the reality of the universe, and that is that things work best when there is a literal co-joining of masculine and feminine, and they walk hand in hand within their purposes, and they positively affect the collective and build from the time that they come together until the time that they transition to the next life. Just my opinion. But the distortion is that, girl, you're gonna be okay. Look, you got your job, you done got your car. Look, just get you some Plan B pills and go on out there to dinner and get that D. And if it ain't good enough, kick them to the curb and call somebody else and get another D. But don't forget the dinner.
Don't forget the dinner. So some of the comments that have chimed in, Vaughn said, so as we spoke about the lady that just, you know, that her advertised for her dating site, says she just wants dick and dinner. She's straight to the point, no feelings at all, you know. If that's what you want, like, to each his own. But I feel like if that's literally what you're on, why play the game? Why lead a person on when that's not what you're looking for? You're not looking for the longevity. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're looking for a booty call, basically. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So be upfront and honest about that. And then he said she doesn't want any accountability. So a lot of people are like that too. They don't want the accountability. You know, if I say that I want to stay single, then I don't have to exude, you know, faithful qualities. I don't have to exude loyal qualities. I don't have to give you quality time.
Yeah, and I don't have to be available for you. I don't have to make time for you or make sure I call you, you know, those kind of things.
Right.
And to me, again, we're talking about a crazy distortion in the collective. Because, okay, I know I have a different mindset. There is nothing more satisfying than being missed by somebody.
Yeah.
There is nothing more pleasant than being greeted when you walk in your door from waging, as a Black man, and that's the only way I could speak, only position I could speak from, is as a Black man, there is nothing greater than walking through the doors of your castle and having a queen to greet you and with some positivity and some peace after waging all the war that we done waged out here in the world. I mean, and it ain't, you know, drop down and give me some head at the door. Although that I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't do that. But I mean, there's some.
You're like, if you're my man, when you walk in, fresh out the shower, brother, it's going down.
There's a time in the season.
Work day, I'm cool.
Let's go.
As soon as you come into the garage, it's on.
Again, there's a time in the season for all that, but I mean, just walking through the door and being able to, you know, kind of shed everything on the outside and have that person that you trust and you can be vulnerable with, that you can actually exhale when she wraps her arms around you and lets you know, hey, King, it's cool. You home now.
You home now, right?
You home now. Rub the head once, twice. Y'all don't even understand.
I understand. We were just talking about, I made a video not too long ago, a couple of months ago, about the thing that bothers me, and I know I want somebody in my life, and I know I want a permanent situation because I believe two people can accomplish so much together, way more than they can by themselves. But we are getting older. Like your emergency contact, who is gonna be there for you? Who, you know, your kids, you have your kids, they got their own life and own stuff going on. You want somebody that's gonna be with you and somebody to grow older. You know, somebody you can depend on. That's the big thing. Like companionship, all of that.
Yeah,
so that's my thing on that.
Yeah, even then, I'm talking about just feeding the inner spirit of the man and the woman. There's, to me, forget about the receiving. There's nothing that you know I like more than being in a relationship with a woman that is appreciative of the fact that, you know what, I was at the Limited. I saw this ad at the Limited, and I had a mindset, this dress would really look nice on you, or this pair of shoes is this would look really great on you, or hey, I was walking through Snooks and the flowers were smelling so good, I brought you some. You know, I bought you some and bought you some. There's a piece of us that naturally, I think, is fed by giving also to somebody that's appreciative, of course, but to not have that, and also all you have to look forward to is, okay, for the women, dick and dinner, and for a man, whatever, you know, sex, and well, you paying for the dinner too, I guess. I don't know, but you know, maybe you gotta you putting a post out, I want pussy and dinner, but in the end, sooner or later, that's not enough. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree with it. Like, it's nothing like having somebody. You in the right situation, it's nothing like it at all. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, there's some out there that they cool. They got 10 women in rotation that they giving dick and dinner, and some of them ain't even getting dinner, and they cool, and the women are cool, and that's cool.
That's a bit much.
But there's an element. No, come on, let's keep it real. Look, the statistics say when you look at the ratio of single, gainfully employed, heterosexual men that are not living in their mama's basement and women that can answer the same sort of questions or something similar, it's almost 22 women to one man. So 22. So chances are really high that every man that's out there giving dick and dinner or giving dick and dinner to 5+ women, and they're all in this crazy cycle and rotation of, you know, there's a family. It's like swingers don't hang out with non-swingers. Swingers hang out with swingers, right?
So
That's
it's
why
more,
I think we give up. That's why I think a lot of women give up and be like, I'm not gonna find it.
You know, I saw something today from somebody else I follow. I think it was Eli Marcus, and he referenced, you know, you need to check yourself if every person that you come across is toxic. That's something about you that's only attracting toxic people. You might need to check yourself.
mm-hmm,
If the only arena you are in, you can't trust nobody around you, everybody's a
nobody,
liar and a
right.
cheater. Well,
Yeah,
chances are real high you're a liar and a cheater too, because birds of a feather do flock together.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, out of all the girls that grew up in high school together, if it's a crew of 10, one of them really is the good girl. But chances are really high she done had some bad girl experiences just because of the clique that she's in. So if for those that say I got to give up because I'm only attracting trash men and they don't never want to do right, well, why are you attracting the trash men?
right.
Where are you
Right.
shopping? Change the place you shopping. You know, figure out what it is about you that's attracting the narcissist, the toxic man, the bum, the one with potential and no evolution of his potential. Why are you attracting that guy?
The
Likewise, I say the same thing
potential.
to, I
Oh
say
my
the same thing to
God.
women. Why are you attracting the ain't shit women? Is
Yeah,
it because you got ain't shit dick?
because you got ain't shit dick. Damn.
Ain't shit, dude. Okay.
So real quick, for everybody that has chimed in, if you're just joining, you are live with Lightning. And of course, you know it goes down every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. But tonight is the third Thursday of the month, and we have our panel discussion. So we have the panel that is here, as you can see, and we're live, and we are talking about what men want versus what women want. So for the folks that are chimed in, I've had a couple of comments. Erica said she was just saying what everybody thinking, you know. I actually love the blatant honest. I do. No matter what it is, I prefer you be honest about whatever, you know, whatever it is. And I got some stars. Thank you. You definitely can send stars. That supports and helps me keep the show going. So I definitely appreciate the stars. So thank you, Erica. And thank you, Big Dang. Mwah. So I appreciate you both. But you're tuned in, and that's what we're talking about. So Erica said, let's talk about that statement, birds of a feather flock together.
Okay, let's talk about it. Why did that trigger you?
Why did that trigger you, Erica? Because sometimes you could be the bird and you ain't got the feathers. Like you may rock with somebody, but you may not be who they are. So you don't have to, you don't really fall into that category.
You know, one of the things that's the hardest for most of us to do is self-introspection. To truly be honest and step outside of ourselves and to judge, so to examine, let's take the word judge out, people get triggered by that. But to truly examine yourself, without condemnation, without, you know, fear of any criticism, you really have to, I think more than, as often as you can stand it, daily is best. You need to look at yourself with the eyes of other people. And sometimes when I'm talking to some people and say, you know, and I'm trying to explain something to them about, get them to see that there's a distortion in the way that they see themselves. I'm like, okay, hey, look, if your daughter or your son, so man, if your son was doing the stuff that you're doing and operating in the way that you're operating, and you had to counsel him, would you just walk up behind him, pat him on the back and say, good job, keep it up, everything's cool? Or would you try to offer him some insight and to help him see that there might be some errors or some flaws in the way that he's handling things, or at least offer some advice in the way that he could do something better if he's wanting to solicit a different kind of response? And if you can do that honestly, look at yourself from the eyes of somebody else and say, you know, like to a woman, why would you, if you're a mother, you probably have a greater insight into what you find acceptable and unacceptable as far as treatment from a man is concerned, because you're able to say, hey, if I saw my daughter with that kind of guy and he was doing that kind of stuff to her or not doing this kind of stuff to her, I would give her advice to change this, that, or third. Now, if we can honestly look at ourselves and try to give advice from outside of ourselves, most of us would change at least one thing about the way that we operate.
Mm-hmm.
But far too often we don't have that. We don't have that ability to honestly look at ourselves.
But when you get to that level, when you can get to that level where you can honestly look at yourself and decide whatever move it is that you want to make, and then you step into that whatever, and you're not even concerned with the judgments and what other people's opinions and what they have to say. You are truly living your life out loud. It is just an amazing feeling, you know. So Vaughn, so Erica came back with the just stating that, you know, we don't have to be the same for us to hang together, which I agree, you know what I'm saying? But that is just the old school cliche, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So just because you with the group of hoes, then all of a sudden now you classified as a hoe because you with the other hoes, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to be the hoe, you know what I'm saying? You just, your friends hoes, so that's what it is.
Is that what you meant by that, JB? When you say birds of a feather flock together, do you mean those that act and move in a certain way, they still, you know, they do it? Like, is that what you meant by that?
Yeah, what I meant was, you know, let me go back to the core statement I made, is that if you're suddenly looking around and you're assessing everybody around you, and everybody around you is toxic, and you're judging them, or you're assessing their behavior and saying that they're toxic and they're this or that, and you don't, I mean, those are negative things, negative attributes that you subscribe to them, you might want to look at yourself and ask yourself, why are you in that group and why are you attracting that kind of people? More often than not, I'm not saying it's 100%, but more often than not, you're attracting that kind of people because you're that kind of person too.
Yeah, but you
not always, but more often than not, you're that kind of person too.
I can feel that. So Vaughn commented, and this is directly to you, Jamal. He said, Jamal, that's a great noble principle to live by. However, most modern day men and women are not hearing it. Most men and women are rotating and processing from their lower self, and social media platforms are not helping. Our brothers and sisters need a new outside form of reference that is geared towards being responsible and accountable. Facts.
I totally agree with you. Yes, it is a high and lofty and noble principle. It is, in a core, it's what's best for us. I agree with you. There's a severe distortion, and I've said it over and over again. There's a severe distortion as to what is good for us as human beings, whether masculine or feminine, for our long-term well-being, and trying to get us to vibrate, trying to elevate to vibrate on a high level continuously for life. It's not impossible, but it takes some introspection, and it takes some dropping of some chains and some bad programming. There's an awful lot of bad programming out there. Some of it does come from, and you can't blame everything on social media for everybody. What's it's at its height, what do we got? 15, not quite 20 years of social media platforms, from Snapchat on, you know, MySpace, and on to what we got, the stuff we got now.
You said MySpace.
I'm going way back. I know, going way back to its influx.
You know. Way back. I had a MySpace. I wondered if I could still log into it. I was Redbone.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant, at least. Yeah, chances are high. I'm not saying it's 100%. It's not across the board. Yeah.
So So I believe Erica agrees with you, but she's just saying, meaning my friend may be one way, but that's a blanket statement because a person can hang with a person doesn't necessarily mean that they're the same. We are all different, and that's what makes the friendship great. Everyone has something to offer.
Yes, I agree. I'm certainly not talking about onesies and twosies. Like I said, at the core of it, I said, if you are one of those that find yourself looking around and everybody around you
Yeah,
is
I
of
get that.
if everybody around you is a flamingo, chances are you might be a flamingo too.
Okay, so the subject at hand tonight, we are speaking about what men want versus what women want. And just from this conversation, to me, it seems like in this day and age, the men are more ready for commitment. I had a conversation, I was having a conversation with the brother that cuts my hair, and he was telling me, he was like, I'm not for the games. Like, he's like, I'm a single dad. And that's another factor. There are more single fathers these days that are taking on the responsibility of raising their children, and some cases they're running from child support. Then you got some cases where some of these moms are Looney Tune, and they're like, I don't want my kid around that, what I'm saying? So they're taking the accountability and the responsibility for their child. So they don't want to expose their child to anybody and everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing the fly by night thing. They're really looking for that longevity, that commitment, to, because most men desire, like yourself, Jamal, you desire a helpmate. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the man, you want to lead, you want to, be that person and have your woman be who you need on the side. You know what I'm saying? You guys are side by side, accomplishing goals, establishing goals, and crushing them. So that's what you're looking for. So you're looking for more of the longevity. And from what Elise was saying, nowadays it doesn't seem like women are on that same. You got some of us that truly desire to have that real, you know what I'm saying? Like to have just the complete real where all the pieces to the puzzle just match up and you got good chemistry, you got good communication, because those are the type of things that are important for me. I'm big on communicating. I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly. If I'm dating and I don't want somebody to sidebar and blah, 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 like, let me know everything, whatever, share with me. Or if I ask you something and you feel it's not my business, then tell me it's not my business, but don't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm big on the little things. I like the big things too. I like to be spoiled. I like to shop. We know that. I like to travel. We know that. You know what I'm saying? I like all of that, but at the end of the hour, if you remember that I said my favorite color green and you got me a green chapstick case, I'm just like, oh my God, it's the little bitty things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Chico sticks. You got me Chico sticks. And I'm just like, you remember me? I like Chico sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the sweet nothings, and it's not just, the compatibility of intimacy and sex. It's the being able to have a conversation, being able to be in different settings and enjoy one another, So that's my perspective of what I want as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just that 100% transparent, no matter what it is.
I think as women, we've gotten, this generation has gotten too focused on what we think men want aesthetically. What we think is good. We want the big booty. We want the BBL. We want to make sure we look this way. We want to make sure our nails and our hair done. Makeup is on point and fire, but we're not worrying about really getting to know a person or what.
Getting to know a person, like real talk.
And how we can communicate. Oh, man, she look good. She bad. She this. I'm going to date her. I'm going to make her mine. But what do you know about that woman? What do you know? Is y'all chemistry right? Or y'all like having good communication? Like you said, like we are so aesthetically focused in this society that we can't get to know each other and really grow together. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's real quick, a really good friend of mine. He's been on and off in a relationship with this particular sister for years. He loves her, but he doesn't like some of her ways. You know what I'm saying? So they continue to fall off, but she fits the description of what he wants on his side as far as her physique. She's thick. She got a tidy little bitty waistline. She got all this ass, her titties, the aesthetics, like you said. She's that's his arm candy. So he walk in with her, they're like, but then he's truly not happy with her on the longevity side because she doesn't possess the woman qualities that he wants in a wife or a committed, relationship. So he's not getting that. So he gets caught up in the aesthetics, and he's met other women that possess those qualities, but she don't fit the description of what he want to see, what he want to look at as far as her body.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're all different for sure, but if you do this exercise, and I invite all the men out there, do this exercise before you get involved in your next. Women, you can do it too, but men, before you get involved in your next, do this exercise. Try to choose 10 things that are kind of the things you want your mate, your woman, your wife, your queen, however you want to call her, that you want your queen's attributes, whether they're physical or non-physical, emotional, whether it's intelligence, whatever. Make a firm list of 10 and then start putting those things in order. Just go.
The priorities of the importance.
You got a list of 10. What is
Mm-hmm.
number 1? What's number 2? What's number
Mm-hmm.
3? And sometimes you got to work backwards and say, well, I got this list of 10, but if I could only have a list of 8, which 2 would I sacrifice?
Okay.
And if you think of it for the long term, the mindset on the long term, I think your list will shift from what you think it is, just throwing it out there. The first thing that came to your mind might not be the number one by the time you're said and done. And understand that unless you have the ability to create a Frankenbride, you will likely not tick all 10 boxes. If there's 10 boxes, maybe everybody don't have 10, but you will probably, it's very unlikely, it'd be quite rare if you tick all 10 boxes out the gate from any woman that you engage with. But what I've observed is by the time you've been in a long-term relationship, you'll find some of those things that were on your list don't have the same priority as they did initially. Because when you get down into the thick of things and you start having to go through issues with children and sick children or career changes, recessions, personal illnesses, when you start having to go through stuff like that, a BBL isn't worth shit.
right.
The ability to buy some dinner and give you some good dick in the long term, that will not be as satisfactory as that man that has enough empathy and compassion and general all right love for you to actually cut his hair off, cut his dreadlocks off because you're losing your hair because you have cancer.
Right.
You
Or
will
just
not-
be there with you, like, through sickness and health and,
Right, for real,
all
too.
of that, you know what I mean? Because we're not promised tomorrow. I could wake up tomorrow and my legs don't work,
And the
Who will
aesthetics
help me
are,
walk around? Nobody, what I'm
right. The
saying?
aesthetics are
So,
so superficial and they're
Yeah.
not promised. Now, we're African American, we're Black, so we say Black don't crack. And yes, our women traditionally look a whole lot better. And if they really take care of themselves, through diet and exercise and stuff, they really take care of themselves. Absolutely. They'll still look great and enviously so from an aesthetic standpoint, but chances are even higher that all you're doing is living life regular. The hips you have at 40 might be double the hips you had at 20.
Yeah.
And that they still curvaceous and they look great, but they have expanded.
They have expanded.
That great high top fade that you had once upon a time. It's a Barkley now. It doesn't change. Look, I just posted a picture. I just posted a picture of me, and I'm pretty sure that was like 92, 93.
Oh, I saw that.
And
Yeah.
I posted that picture. My beard was still black back then.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Times have changed. Now you got the sexy salt pepper gray.
I have expanded.
We like the salt pepper gray. We
Thank
like
you very
that.
much.
Erica chimed in and said, I need stability and a partner. I'm too old for the BS. Say what it is and what it's not, and let's go from that and not waste each other's time. Big dot, period.
Erica, would you be kind enough to share your age or some range, please? I'm just for curiosity.
She's in our age bracket.
Okay. Y'all age bracket is a little lower than my age bracket.
I mean,
so y'all age bracket. Yeah, and that fits.
She's me and Elisa's age bracket.
Okay, so and that fits. You all have had enough experiences. Unfortunately, you probably suffered some trauma. You, unfortunately, some of my brethren have not treated you as well as they should have. Sometimes you just didn't choose well because you decided that mama was wrong when she told you there's something wrong with that boy. He ain't right. You don't do that. And you said, I'm doing my own thing. I love him. And I'm doing it anyway. And you made some mistakes. And so, yeah, now you're close to 50-ish. And you're realizing that it ain't really all that cool just to have pillows on the other side of the bed every night of the week.
Right.
That's not cool. And
right.
you're good at cooking. You like to cook, but half the time you eating out because it's not as fun. It's not as enjoyable to cook for one. Or, okay. And y'all know I got my little posting I do on Facebook every once in a while called Reservations for One. And yes, my meals look delicious and they are delicious. And I enjoy doing them, but I promise you, I would much rather be doing that for at least 2 people, if not 20.
And I get that. I totally get that. But that's you too. You have a different mindset, which is amazing. And I'm praying that you really truly meet your person. We all deserve our person. You know what I'm saying? That, and not so much complete you, because we should all be whole, but definitely a person that adds to you, if there are issues and, that they assist in getting you to that next plateau. Because we all should be, I think friendships, relationships, whatever, it's levels, and you should be, you start at one level, and then you move to the next level, and then you go to the next level. You continuously are setting your goals of what you want to accomplish, what your goals are as far as you all together, coming together, and then you start building that, start building on those foundations. Vaughn commented back of your 10 things you listed, and he said, and those 10 things will go in the trash as soon as you unzip your pants, Big Daddy. Deborah chimed in and said, you got to have control. And Deborah says the compassion and support, especially mentally support, goes a long way. That's deep.
That's huge, yeah.
Erica said she is a little younger than me, but Erica's 41. So that's where her mindset is, So, and we all are, I guess the biggest thing is figuring out what it is you want. and then you're able to either recognize it when it comes, because you hear far too often is in some scenarios as well where women are, I see it on Facebook for the people who've been on Facebook, like I'm trying to allow this man to love me, but I have not dealt with my traumas, or I need to heal first. And again, you do have to go through that hard work to get yourself together before you can open up the floodgates to be able to love another person. I'm not saying that you need to be exactly where you want to be in life, but you've got to be happy and comfortable in whatever space you're in, whatever your space is. You've got to be comfortable and content where you are and totally love yourself in order to open up your heart to be able to love another,
properly.
To love you properly. So, and then, because sometimes, if you have not gone through that hard work, when it comes to you, you don't recognize it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it for granted and lose it, whereas if you can recognize it and be able to give and reciprocate that back of what you're getting,
Mm-hmm. I find more often than not, women, I'm not going to say it's not work, some work to, move past your traumas, and to, you got to do a root cause analysis, and you got to be real intentional about it. And to me, if you're not writing the stuff down and journaling about the stuff, you're doing yourself a real disservice. But if you are really doing that kind of work, and the universe has revealed to you the mistakes that you made, and you're looking to not make those mistakes anymore and make some better decisions, then forgive yourself and just move on. Commit to making better decisions, forgive yourself, and just move on. Pookie is not Ray Ray. Ray Ray is not Leroy. Leroy is not JJ. JJ is not Henry. Henry is not Alexander. Those guys were in the past. This is a new guy. This is a new you. You're 40, 41, Erica. You have new intentions. You're ready to stop living the life for the weekend and ready to start living life forever, and be with somebody that's not just fun on the weekend. Be with somebody that's fun 7 days a week.
Right. And not just fun in bed. Like, you got to have fun. I'm not going to say that intimacy is a lot of people try to put intimacy down, lower level. It's up, it's top 2 for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not physically attracted to you and we're not satisfying each other intimately, that's not going to work for me, because I'm a highly sexual being, so that's important to me. So that chemistry has to be that, but the key, like you said, is knowing exactly what you want. And if you can't keep it in your mind mentally, write that shit down.
Write it down.
Yeah, write it down.
That's why a lot of people have problems, because they wing it. They go from relationship to relationship. They don't heal anything. They don't think about anything. The next person that come along, oh, I like you. We cool. We kick it. It's fun. We're going to be together. But you don't really know what you want. So when you get with this person, you start seeing stuff that you don't like, or stuff that they do that you don't appreciate, but you didn't even get the time to give yourself time to know what you want and know what you're looking for. So you could have saw that in the beginning and no. Like, that's what people do all the time, and they don't take time to, hey, I'm going to know I want this. Write it down. I want this. I want that. I want a person that treats me this way. I'm going to treat them that way. I want somebody that makes me feel this way. People don't do that. They just go from relationship to relationship, and that's a big problem.
I say the art of courtship is lost, or has been lost. It's not been put forward in a long time. I think it's becoming more intentional now. But the art of courtship requires what you said earlier, Lightning, a lot of in-depth conversation, communication, and what Elise shared, truthful, honest conversation, first with yourself, and then with the person that you are getting to know. And this is an evolution. And sometimes you're getting to know someone and you have these conversations, these dinners without any dick, because that just complicates things. So whether it's good or bad, it's going to complicate things. But have enough conversations, get through sharing your own values and extracting what the other person's values are. And I don't mean to oversimplify it, but it's kind of like a job interview with in some respects.
Real talk.
But this is a lifetime. It should be working toward a lifetime commitment, in my opinion. I mean, if all you want to do is find out if it's big enough and it gets hard enough and lasts long enough, and his wallet is thick enough to buy the dinner that you want, that's one thing. But if you're trying to extract enough information about the real nuances of a person, that takes time. And I'm not saying it takes a year. I'm not even saying it takes 6 months. But if you're both intentionally dating with the same goal in mind, and that is to find out if the person that you like, their pretty face, their nice eyes, their smile, or their salt and pepper beard and their sexy head, if that person fits your values, your principles, your morals, and you're able to do more than just lay down and have intimacy with them, and they're able to do more than just pay for the dinner and leave a nice tip, or the other thing from the other side, the woman is able to do more than just cook cornbread from scratch and fry the fish without burning it. It takes some time. It takes some energy. It takes some effort, and you've got to treat it. Yeah, I can't say it any other way. You got to treat it kind of like a job interview, and take your notes. Behind closed doors, take your notes and say, okay, well, yeah, I think you could do this and that. And not get lost. Here we go, Lightning. Not get lost in the potential of him changing or her changing.
Yeah.
The only wild card that you should ever have by the time that you've decided to lay down with somebody is whether or not the sex is good. Everything else about them, all the other questions about them should be satisfied by the time you get to that point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, and that I shared another video that coincides with the show tonight as well, of having those hard conversations, and it was another podcast I was watching, and they mentioned, like going through all 4 seasons with a person. Like you gotta, because people can say certain things and then they don't demonstrate that, They can say they care for you, they can say they'll do anything for you, but when you need them, you call them and then they're not there, or whatever, So to see them in happy, like, enjoy that I like you, you like me, we're spending time together, all of that's great, but then you get angry and you treat me different. I want to be able to see you in anger mode as well, and see if I can handle that. I want to see you deal with a loss or grieve, or do you shut me out? You know what I'm saying? Like to go through, because I know I'm definitely was guilty of that with my last relationship. You know what I'm saying? Of not really putting in all of that time to go through those seasons. I wrote a poem about it. It was basically, it ended up being, I wanted a husband and he needed a wife. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually what it was. I was at that point where I was ready to be in a relationship. I was ready for the commitment. I was ready to be off the market and not be single no more. Just be, happy with one dick for the rest of my life type shit. You know what I'm saying? I was ready for all of that. And I did not go through those seasons. So when the seasons changed, I was like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? This is not the guy. And we wrote stuff down, and you're not who you said on this piece of paper, like, who's this guy? Who are you? I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go through all those seasons, the up and down, because people can start off saying, I can talk calmly and we can communicate and say this, that, and the other. And then you get into it and then they can flip on you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not dealing with the flip no more. Like I want consistency, truthfulness, and everything else is gonna fall in place.
And look at how they deal with other people. How are their relationships with their family? How are their
Exactly. That's so important. That is so important.
Very
You know,
important. And people don't do that. That's very important because that's going to tell you who they are.
Agreed. Agreed.
So a couple of the final comments, and we're gonna wrap up. It's more about the mental, you know, so that's very important that you guys can relate, you know, physically, mentally. That's very important. Deb said, I trust a person to be just that human. I try not to worry about what I can't control, you know. Terry chimed in and said, courting stopped being a requirement. Motherfuckers had to court you to get close to you. That's, you know, that is like, you don't have the old school, like my dad, when he met my mom, my mother had like they would see each other at this corner store. And it's like, I don't know, she used to go all the time, but he kind of knew her school little schedule and knew when she went to the corner store. So like that was his courtship, you know, to be there to get her penny candy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he was consistent, but you know, like you have people who still do that know she work at the coffee shop and just show up, you know, with courting, you know, there's no more wheeling them in, you know, you just simply say, hey, I like you, so let's go. And then you go, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the reality. Like I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I've been there. All right, we left the club.
I'm going to say that is not healthy for a long-term relationship.
But
it's not, but that's what it is right now. And courting doesn't take a gang of money, or you don't have to be rich to court somebody. You can know what they like and what they like to do and be able to do it. You don't have to spend so much money or to go on so many dinners. Take me for a walk in the park. Let's go do something free. Let's go to the zoo. Let's do this.
It's keeping them captivated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just because it may not have started off with this pursuing, like we didn't talk about that because you know how you feel about
the
men pursuing.
Hunts, not chase. Hunts.
It's kind of, you know, that's the little chase a little bit, you know, where you're putting forth that effort to show interest. You know what I'm saying? So, and it might not always be the cookie cutter movie version of the courtship. You know what I'm saying? Like my first marriage, I left club. We left the club, went to breakfast, and ended up. You know what I'm saying? I was married to that man 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So shit can happen like that, where it can turn into longevity. You know, but it's certain instances that the courtship happens. You know, or certain women are like, well, you gotta. You know, they done read Steve Harvey book and like, well, you got to do these 30 things first. Or I'll let you smell it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some that's like, shit, just buy me a drink and you can smell it. You know what I'm saying? And them don't go sour all the time. You know what I'm saying? It could be a one-night stand. That's what you signed up for, but it could turn into something. You know what I'm saying? You can start spending quality time with that person that you thought was just going to be a one-night stand, and then realize that you have total chemistry with this person. You know what I'm saying? So things can happen like that.
I don't say, I'm not trying to preach or teach or suggest that it's cookie cutter, but courtship does require communication. Honest communication. Honest communication.
That is all I ask for. So as we wrap up tonight, and I thank everybody that has tuned in. This has been a wonderful conversation. We've been talking about, what men want versus what women want. And I'll let us all just have our final statement. I know I want truthfulness, consistency. So if you're gonna be and you're gonna start a certain way, stay that way. Like if I like who you are as you are, stay that way. And unless you're getting better. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to see you better. I want to see you grow and progress and accomplish goals. But don't turn into a person that you did not introduce me to.
Representative.
Yes.
I don't want longevity with your representative. I want longevity with you, the good, the bad, the ugly you. I want you, if that's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I want the real, because I'm gonna give you my real, and I want you to, I just don't like blindsided. I don't like being blindsided about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want you to get blindsided about me. So anybody that I'm communicating with, yeah, I got this going on. I got this going on. And yep, I like this and this. So what you think? You know what I'm saying? Let you make your choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think? I am this sexual goddess person. This is the energy that I'm exuding. Are you cool with that? If not,
yeah.
so what's your final comment of the night, Jamal?
Elise go first. Ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay. Elise with the message.
I just think it's really important for people to be honest in what they want and what they're looking for, and to know what you're looking for before you start looking. Like, know what you want, know what your hard no's are and your passes are, all of that before you start communicating with somebody. To me, stability is very important, knowing that you will be there. You know, don't pull the rug up from under my feet and disappear for a couple of days. I don't like any of that. So
Yeah.
for me, I communicate that. I tell people that we talk about that. So communication, like going back to what we've been saying this whole time, is very important and is key in any situation.
Well, in the end, first of all, let me say that I didn't really like the way you wrote this topic, because I hate it when we make it look like men and women are these adversarial creatures, because we're not meant to be that way. So what men want and what women want at its core is really the same thing. You want to be loved and appreciated. There are some varying terms that go along with that. Those things may change based on your experiences that you have, whether good, bad, or like Lightning said, good, bad, or ugly. And in the end, if we all just communicate honestly, whether right now it's dick and dinner, or whether it really is long-term marriage, love and marriage, and the white picket fence and the evolution of our kingdom, and we living in Dubai. Yeah, whoever hooks up with me, Dubai, we will have a residence in Dubai. So I'm just saying, love and honesty, respect for men, respect and loyalty. Number one, love is filtered in there, but in the end, we all want the same thing.
We want to be loved correctly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So for everybody that's been watching, and thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the stars that were sent tonight. Continue to send the stars. Help us keep going. I truly appreciate that. But again, thanks for tuning in for Live with Lightning. And again, this show goes down every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you are watching another show, you can come back and rewatch episodes of Live with Lightning. You can go to the YouTube page, just go to YouTube and type in @Live with Lightning. If you ever have a subject that you would like to hear us discuss, you can email me at livewithlightning@gmail.com. If you're ever live with us and you want to share a comment and you don't want it to be publicly displayed in the live chat, you can also email me at livewithlightning@gmail.com. But we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I love you all, and I appreciate the continued support, and keep sending stars. And again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Give it up for the lovely panel that is available with me every third Thursday of the month. I love these guys in real life, so again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week on Thursday at what time? 8
o'clock. Love you too.
Love you.
Smoochers.